the man from down under with a little thunder, WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Bushwhacker Luke. I hear something else comes from down under too. The Wrestling with Figs podcast with my mates Chris and James. You gotta tune into this great podcast because Chris and James will give you all the inside info. Whoa! Yay!
Welcome everybody to the Wrestling with Figs podcast, episode 33. It's an exciting episode as our team grows. There's Chris, myself, and who is the third person, Chris? We'll get to that later, hey?
Who could the third man be? Look, there we are. There's myself. I'd be Kevin Nash. James definitely be Hulk Hogan. We need a bad guy. So, it could be anyone. Could be anyone. We asked Brett Amos. He said no. We asked Sean NG. He said no. We asked Mark Bushy. He said no. And then we scraped the bottom of the barrel and we found somebody to come on with us.
An even lower point of the barrel would be Anthony Nguyen, and even he said no. So we
going on record.
Going on record. Mate, listen, top of the show, right? I want to get this off my chest because it's absolutely blown my mind. It's got nothing to do with figures, collecting, or anything. There's my little dog in the background. Jeffrey... what's his name? Jeffrey, the documentary.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer, mate. Guys, if you like your true crime docos, Jeffrey Dahmer is by far the best one I've ever seen. It's the most... I didn't find it... Like I watched Night Stalker. Have you seen that one? Night Stalker? That scared the bejesus out of me. Jeffrey Dahmer... My jaw was on the floor every episode. I just could not believe what I was watching. Unbelievable.
We only finished it yesterday. It's pretty full on and not one for the weak stomachs and just really sad more than anything. You know who I felt really sad for? Was the neighbour. The neighbour knew what was going on. Yeah. She got no help at all. Crazy. Yeah. No spoilers though.
No spoilers, but that's it's a free plug there for Jeffrey Dahmer and the documentary. So get into
James, in about 2 pods time, it will be Halloween around the same time. Are we going to dress up on the pod?
Why not?
Now, so that's a good opportunity for people to shout out to us any costume ideas. Look, I have been in a lot of school plays as a teacher, and I get typecast a fair bit. I'm always the giant. I'm always the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk or the ugly stepsister from Cinderella. Look, I've played it all. I was once the genie from Aladdin as well. But if there's a good suggestion, a wrestling one out there, I thought about dressing up as a wrestler for our book week this year, but I couldn't find a decent costume that didn't involve me parading around in yellow jocks, and I thought I might get into trouble for that. So.
Well, mate, I've got the perfect costume for you, and it's a no-brainer. Anyone that has seen the photos of, of Chris Maddox in his younger years as King Kong Bundy's son, unbelievable, uncanny likeness of you and King Kong Bundy in his younger years. You need to go as King. You need to come on this show as King Kong Bundy. Perfect.
I'll wear my black one-strap leotard. Hey, speaking of black one-straps, I've been watching while I've been on holidays. I finally got around to watching it, WWE Most Wanted Treasures. Have you seen this show?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
You would love it. You would absolutely love it. It is the most enjoyable wrestling show I've seen in ages. Awesome. It is 9 episodes of collector's delight where some WWE people are searching for lost treasures of the industry. So the best, in my opinion, the best episode is the Ric Flair butterfly robe. So you know the robe he wore at the Royal Rumble?
Yep.
And his debut?
Black one.
The black one butterfly robe.
Yep.
And they couldn't find it, and he wanted to get it back for his collection, and no one knew where it was. And all these collectors, Conrad Thompson, who's married to one of Flair's daughters. No one knew where it was, and he's a big collector as well, Conrad. They go and just follow the search to try and find it, to bring it back, because you can tell the WWE are putting together some sort of archive museum that they're going to release at some point.
That's cool.
And yeah, really, really good show. So I finished watching it. I watched it really quickly because I enjoyed it so much, and then found out that the Series 2 is just about to start again. So very cool. And Mick Foley will be hosting the second series from all reports.
And where can you watch this, Chris?
It's on Foxtel on A&E. You can stream it. It's on demand. And definitely worth a watch. I think about 9 episodes. Each one's about an hour and a half. And,
Perfect.
Our good mate from GWC, Steve Moran. Do you know Steve?
No.
Dresses up like the Macho Man and talks in the Macho Man's voice, and he's a big collector. He has his own house as a museum in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So he's in about he's in about 3 episodes. And my respect for Steve was already quite high, because anyone who dedicates their money and life to building a wrestling museum in their own house, hats off to you for being able to do that. But when a couple of items that he had that they were looking for, he just gave it to the WWE. He said, no, you have it. It's more important to you. And then you see these other bloody weasel collectors who just absolutely try to leech every dollar they can out of the WWE. Things that they found or bought quite cheaply, and then they're like, oh no, 50,000 for that. If it's a one of one, like, come on. And you've got this grown man asking for their item back, nearly in tears, offering them a lot of money, and they're still squeezing him for more.
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy.
Very, very sad.
So different sort of storyline to the Jeffrey Dahmer docuseries?
No one was eaten on this show. So, oh man, can you imagine? Oh, it's just like that.
No, yeah. I can't. As I said, my jaw was literally on the floor every single episode.
So was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Now listen, NRL, AFL, both grand finals. Congratulations to the winners, Penrith Panthers of the NRL and the Geelong Cats of the AFL. But what 2 bludgers of a grand final? I watched
Rubbish.
both. Rubbish.
I tuned in I tuned in 68th minute, 28-0, and I thought, well, that's enough for me. Then there's not going to be a change in this game, so I turned it straight off.
Oh, mate, the grand final on the weekend had every chance to be an absolute classic. But Parramatta, to Penrith's credit, they didn't let Parramatta play well at all. But Parramatta just didn't show up, and they got belted, absolutely belted, all across the park. But Sydney Swans, I don't know much about AFL, to be honest with you, but they seemed they did the same thing. They just forgot to play. They just said,
I think just 2 teams that are just better than everybody else, unfortunately. And mate, also in the world of pop culture, we had a couple of sad deaths this week. Okay. So we lost Coolio. Do you remember Coolio?
Yes. Yep.
A good tribute here from Virgil. Man, Coolio, my brother, we hit up all across the land. I'm broken about this. Here's some blonde begging us both for some meat sauce. R.I.P. my bro. Virgil, always a man with words, very strong words there from the Verge. Hopefully he didn't charge Coolio for that shout out. And the other one was Antonio Inoki from the Japanese wrestling scene, who was also a very important Japanese political figure as well. So sad. He was 79, so he's had a good life, but he still looked young. Like, you look at the pictures of him recently, and he still looks only maybe in his 50s or 60s.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, well, mate, we've got a pretty decent show ahead of us, Christopher, so how about we get into it? Let's kick off with community news. Now we'll kick off with a little bit of housekeeping. First up, we've got please subscribe to the Wrestling with Figs podcast and leave us a positive 5-star review. If you don't want to leave a 5-star review, don't worry about it. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and wherever else all the good podcasts are played. This will help us spread the word and allow other collectors in the Down Under community to listen to our great podcast. Thank you to those who already have spent the 30 to 60 seconds to leave us one. It's very much appreciated. We're still on the hunt for a show sponsor or a segment sponsor. So if you're in the pop culture, action figures, trading card, or even memorabilia game, please reach out and we'll have a chat. Now, the Figs Down Under community, the big man over in the West, the founder, Chris Maddock, has created this great community, the Figs Down Under community, and it is sensational. Great group of guys and girls all supporting one another to pick up our cherished pieces of our much-loved collections. Now, here we go, Chris. We've got a bit of an announcement to make. The third man in.
James and I, we're really receptive to feedback, and we've had lots of feedback over the journey. The biggest feedback was, can James be less shit in the podcast? And
James, what?
Sorry, he's tried. People tell me that I'm carrying you.
Oh, okay.
They say, Chris, you're so handsome and knowledgeable. James is so useless, and his knowledge is a bit lacking unless it comes to the two pieces he needs to finish his collection. And
no offense taken at all.
James knows Hasbro's, and he knows old school figures. I have a general knowledge of wrestling and wrestling figures, but we need somebody who's more on the cutting edge of wrestling, who is currently still connected to the current product and the current figures. And we also thought if we could bring this guy in, maybe he might sell us a rare figure that he has, that Chief J Strongbow, one of about 15 in the world. So should we introduce him?
Yes. Without further ado, how are we going to do this, mate? Just say his name. Or have you got some weird and wonderful video thing that you're going to screw up again?
Well, I'm not going to play the video again because look what happened last time. All right, it's Bradley Perryman.
Bradley Perryman.
Hello, fellas. Little Chief Jace right here, mate.
It's very nice.
Good.
It's not
Very good. Chris will buy that for $10,500.
I'm stretching for 20.
That's not a bad price the way they're going.
Oh, really? Do you guys even remember Chief J Strongbow?
No.
Personally, no.
Oh, there you go.
Too young.
There you go. Well, welcome, Bradley, to the show. It's great to have a third person on the team.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys.
I've got some questions from our listeners. First up, are you really the love child of Chris Maddock?
Look, I think it's just an imaginary dream that Chris kind of just goes with and just hopes that one day could be real. Unfortunately, Chris, you might need to let him know that it's all a dream.
I won't give up on this until I get a DNA test.
All right, we'll have to do it on the next when we do a FDU meetup or something, right?
How old are you, Brad?
I'm 27.
No, there's no chance, mate. I wasn't banging people when I was 12.
You weren't banging your cousin over there at the West, Chris? No?
No, I'm from WA, not Tasmania, mate.
Oh, apologies to our Tasmania listeners. That's pretty harsh, mate.
Sorry, Adrian Mansfield. I know you're down there in Tassie.
So what makes you want to join our show, Bradley? I know you're a little bit nervous. I'm going to draw all the information out of you.
Now, look, you guys sent out the invite, and you were after something more modern. And I mean, look, I'm not the biggest collector of modern figures, but I try to collect pretty much everything that comes out. And you know, my knowledge with your guys' knowledge of all the old school stuff, which I've learned along the podcast at the same time, it's helped me, and I'm guessing in a way I'm helping you guys as well as other people. So I'm just here for the ride, here to enjoy it and here to have fun, I guess.
Awesome.
That's why we're here as well.
Love it. And what would you say your, let's go, top 3 pieces in your collection are?
Oh, so that's a tough one. I've never had a set list of top 5, top 10. Anything obviously Rey Mysterio related is like my number one. Like that's my go-to. Second would be anything Finn Balor related. I've got a Rey Mysterio section, a Finn Balor section. And I don't know, I've just started collecting obviously all Darby Allin figures, and that's kind of my next growing kind of stage. So though anything of those three is kind of just what I'm building for with the collection at the moment. So
it's funny you say that because James's favourite piece in his collection is also his Silver Surfer Rey Mysterio basic.
It's one of the best figures of all time, right?
Do you have it?
Of course I've got it, mate. I've probably got a second one somewhere as well.
Well, you can have a third, mate.
Is it autographed by me?
It's autographed in silver paint pen.
Right. Do you want to hear my top 3 worst figures of all time?
Go on.
Silver Surfer Ray, number 1. $1 Million Man. What's that series? Superstar series, $1 Million Man. Actually, the head, that's pretty harsh to put in the top 2. It's just the suit. It's horrible. And number 3 is Ultimate Edition Goldberg with Chris's chicken legs. Yeah. Big upper body, skinny legs.
With
top 3 worst
your smoke face at the same time.
Smoke face, Yes. Well, mate, now I'm going to put you again back in the hot seat. You're going to kick us off with some fig news, Mr. Modern Man. Start off with Mattel, Chris.
All right. What I'll do, Brad, is I'll bring up the images, and then if you just talk to each one, and then we'll keep rolling through. So first one we've got is Royal Rumble Elites 2023.
Yeah, no, these actually, well, for me personally, this is a good set because of obviously Rey Mysterio there where he won his Royal Rumble. So you've got Brie Bella, Damian Priest, Vader, Rey Mysterio, and a builder figure. Was it Doc Hendricks? I think it was before my time.
The Doc, but I don't know whether this set, is Doc Hendricks enough of a pull to want to buy this set?
See, that's the thing.
Hendricks.
You can get away with, I think, one of those figures in that line you don't have to collect if you don't want spare hands, I think it is. It might be the Rey Mysterio. You can get Brie, Damian, Vader, and you can have the figures built itself, just not have spare hands and a microphone, which not a lot of people care about, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I just recently picked up another Bret Hart WrestleMania Elite for the legs for the Jimmy Hart because I didn't want to buy a Dakota Kai. And it's the legs that I had in merch purchase for this week because why would you want to try and find a figure that was barely released just to get some legs that are exactly the same as the ones in another builder figure?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, second set coming out very soon is the AEW Unrivaled 11s.
All right, so Unrivaled 11, we got Darby Allin, which I'm going to have to need. Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford. You got the first Adam Cole AEW figure, which I guess a lot of people are excited about, and good old Chris Jericho.
How many Chris Jericho figures is that now? About 47?
God, probably, mate. It's near that, I'd imagine. And in all honesty, I don't think any of them have been any good. Maybe his Lionheart Day 1 was okay for a vintage kind of style, but personally, not a fan.
And why is that? What's wrong with them?
Oh, there's something with the Jazzware AEW figures I don't like. I think it's more unrealistic, compared to Mattel, but that's just me being personal, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we've got the Mattel WWE Basic Series 136.
136, we got the first Cody Rhodes Basic for when he's returned. We got Xia Li, Dolph Ziggler, who has a chase figure as well, which I believe is the pink one. We have Robert Roode, who is his tag partner at the time, and then good old Goldberg getting another figure.
Few legs, James.
Yeah, see, those legs are very, very good.
He's got Chris's knee braced on as well.
Those knees are 10 times better than the ones in the Ultimate Edition.
No, the Ultimate Edition's great, mate. You're being too harsh. I love it.
Come on.
All right, next release coming out is the Wrestlemania Basics.
So you got the basic Wrestlemania 39 figures. We're going Hollywood this year. So they got Bianca Belair, bringing back an Andre the Giant basic. You got the Undertaker, and then obviously Kane, his brother at the time.
And you got Andre with the yellow jocks on and the yellow boots, which I think is that. So I thought Andre only wrestled in the yellow when he was before man.
Wasn't that Battle Royal?
Maybe it's that first or WrestleMania 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I think it was WrestleMania 2. Three was in black.
Yeah, it was Battle Royal 2.
Yeah, and Ford, he was in the match with Hogan again, which was the double D count or double DQ.
Don't know.
In the tournament, you remember the tournament WrestleMania 4?
Oh,
The
God, I haven't
final,
seen that in
that was
years.
when $1 Million Man and Macho got to the final of the tournament.
Right.
And
Okay.
Andre and Hogan had their side match for the tournament, and because it was a double count out or a double DQ, they got through. There was a bye.
Right. I need to watch it
Remember?
again.
Yeah, I might go watch it again too. It's been so long. I've actually been
Yeah.
watching a bit of the old WrestleFest lately. It's been bloody great.
Awesome.
And probably the most exciting release that we've seen in the last couple of weeks is the Attitude Era ring.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot of people excited about this. Obviously, it comes with a Ultimate Edition cane at the same time, and it's the first Ultimate Edition with windowless packaging. So that's going to be different for some collectors out there who like showing the front of the boxes, I guess, as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that this is old cane.
Yeah, I agree. I really do like this one compared to anything else that's been released. It's kind of weird that we've just gone to the Mattel Creations ring and we're kind of just bringing out a brand new one straight away for people to buy. But it'll be a bit difficult for us Aussies to get price-wise at the moment with shipping. But fingers crossed Mattel Creations have a cheaper shipping method for us.
Are they the same size? Are they the same size, the ring?
I imagine it would be. I haven't looked up any.
Very similar.
Yeah.
So I think they would be as well. Look, it wouldn't be hard in a factory to just change the paint color and the rope color and the ring skirts, and it's the same ring. I reckon it'd be very, very much the same. Now, good member of FTU, Levi Elvers, was looking into and doing a post on the page about mass ordering in from the US. Stay tuned on that one. We're all keeping an eye on it, but there was suggestions that Mattel Creations will have this available. And if you've gone off anything they've done so far, $14 to ship from Mattel Creations versus like $200 from Ringside. For me personally, it'll be a wait and see. Or my next option would be to try and order it to a contact in the US to on ship, because I think I can get it cheaper than paying the Ringside shipping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Off topic, but on topic. Last episode I mentioned I picked up the new retros of the Anvil and Jimmy the Mouth of the South.
Yep.
And currently I bought them off my good friend Granville Nash, and I've just got my tracking details. So he sent it on the 28th of September, and it's been sitting in Chicago ever since. There's nothing about Chicago. They just sit there for weeks on end.
And yet I've already got mine. Mine was shipped after that.
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, maybe not that. Mine probably shipped middle to late September. Most of the Aussies have got theirs now. The company that they use in Australia from Mattel is Aramex. So they get shipped by Mattel to Australia and then split up and shipped via Aramex, which is a courier company. It's very much the luck of the draw. I get the same Aramex delivery driver, and he's a nice fella, but he's a bit grumpy. And I reckon that some days he delivers on a Sunday, and sometimes he doesn't deliver. Yeah, like it's just random. He just turns up randomly with parcels. And I got a thing saying partially shipped, and then both boxes of mine turned up, so I got 2 sets. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm actually going to put one of my sets up for trade if anyone's out there wanting a set. I've got a couple of little things I'm looking for at about the same value. So one thing I actually recently sold that I'm trying to get back. So
has the No Holds Barred figures been shipped out yet?
Most, I think.
Some have, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anyone get them in hands yet, especially in the States.
Yeah, I think there's a few people who have been receiving them in the States, but I don't think that the anything's landed down under yet.
Well, if anyone has 2 and they still want to sell one, I'm still on the hunt for one.
I'll just say
yeah. And that's everything from you, Bradley?
Yep, that is all from me for now.
What a debut, mate. Well done. That was bloody brilliant. Better than Chris and I could ever do.
Yeah. And my favourite part about Brad's part there was that he actually knew the correct names of the wrestlers.
No, I'm telling you, there's still a few that are in the NXT and whatnot. I'm just like, I'm not even going to try butchering it. Like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Hey, James, can I just jump in the queue? Because I've got a few things I wanted to add that aren't on the run sheet. Can I do that now?
Yep.
So first thing announced yesterday, is World Series Wrestling coming back to Australia for March next year. Dates aren't announced yet. And do you recognise him, James?
Yep. Johnny Morrison.
Johnny Morrison.
Yep.
As known as John on Survivor. Did you see him on Survivor?
No. What, the American version?
Yeah, he was on the American Survivor a few years ago. He's really good on it too. He seems like a really good fella.
Yeah.
But he didn't win. But he was still absolutely jacked on that show. Just walks around like Tarzan out there. But he's coming back as champion, and hopefully now with no COVID restrictions that we get a full tour of Australia. I would be very keen to go. Hopefully we get the Major Brothers back out here as well. All reports they were very, very popular last year. You went last year, didn't you, Brad?
Yep. I went to the Sydney show, and it was good to see Matt Cardona and Chelsea. It was not great to see Cardona not wrestle, but being a Major Pod fan, it was good to meet them all, I guess.
I thought he did wrestle. Was he injured or?
No, he was still injured with his his shoulder or something. So
what was his role here?
He was the manager of such as Chelsea Green when she was wrestling. I think she wrestled Tennille Dashwood in Sydney, but he was pretty much the manager of her when she was wrestling.
Very nice. Now, the other one I was going to mention is I've been hard on Chella. So Chella Toys have been sort of letting us all down a bit. That there's been nothing from them. Now, I made a post. I got a bit of heat from a few members saying you can't be hard on somebody who's going through a family crisis, and poor old Chella is having a family crisis. Now, if I actually went back and reread my post, I didn't say anything about the family crisis or being mean to the guy who's running the company. All I said was just communicate. Just communicate what's going on. I'm a pretty patient dude. I had to buy figures from Zombie Sailor. I'm pretty patient. So, but just please, I've spent a couple of $100 with them, I'd just like to know what's going on, especially when I ordered the figures in January and it's now October. So their website, in credit to Chella, and now I'm being positive, they have updated and they now have this system of green, orange, and blank, and it tells you whether it's the prototype created, pre-orders open, the molds made, final production, shipped from factory, and then on its way to the customer. And it can tell you for each figure. So Haku right now is at final production stage. If you go to Ethan Page, you can see it's already shipped to customer. Adam Bomb shipped to customer. And the one I've ordered that I'm waiting for is the Dynamite Kid, which says it's shipped from the factory. I don't know how often these are going to get updated on the website, but it's a start because I wasn't there a few weeks ago. At least we know that something is happening from their end. The thing that worries me, and I got a good link from somebody about their Instagram, is that they seem to be outsourcing a lot of their shipping and things to another company now, Wrestling Trader. So hopefully won't be too far away. I know a lot of people who know Chella's reputation is very strong, and I think without divulging somebody else's personal crisis, from what I've been told, is both parents of the owner of Chella have become unwell quite critically at the same time. Now, you wouldn't want to go through that, and no one wants to go through that, and people respect that you have family crises, but at the same time, when you're dealing with people's money, you have to communicate so people get off your case. Somebody said to me, hey, I'm going through a bit of a family stuff at the moment, just give us a few weeks and I'll get it sorted. Then that's it for me. I'll leave them to it. Especially if they've got a good reputation. But when you just don't know, that's when the pressure builds behind the scenes. So hopefully
probably also a classic case of he or she have taken on way too much, right? So they've gotten big way too quick. They've obviously created something really, really, really desirable. And if you haven't got a solid business plan or a team or a bit of a plan or a strategy going forward, it's tough. It becomes very overwhelming very quickly. So, and then throw in, grief or sickness in the mix. It's just, I feel for them.
Yeah.
Unlike yourself, Chris. Unlike yourself, you evil person.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, I am definitely one to be empathetic to people who are going through some stuff at home. But at the same time, just communicate. So at least they've gone on the right track now because they're actually released that information. And finally, Brad can tell us more about this. Is it this weekend?
It is this weekend. It is on Sunday for us.
WWE Extreme Rules. What's the highlight of this weekend, Brad? Do you know?
I don't know. It's so they're building it up to be obviously a big pay-per-view because it's back in the old. I think it's back where ECW used to be. Basically. So not the venue, but the city. So it's built up to be quite a big event with, I think, the first singles women's ladder match ever. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But
Philadelphia?
Possibly, yes. I believe that could be the one.
Yeah, it doesn't sound on the card. Very cool. And we might start a thread on the page for anyone who wants to discuss that while it's on live. I might try and... I'll be away on Sunday morning, so unfortunately, won't be able to watch it.
I'll just message you all the results, Chris. Don't worry.
I don't care. This is part of the year where I tune out of wrestling and I start to tune back in around Survivor Series. So about Survivor Series, I'll start to pick it up again, ready for the Rumble, and then I'll get through to Mania, and then I'll tune out again until next Survivor Series.
And just adding on to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, there's been a whole build-up, obviously, on Raw and SmackDown with a possible new person that they're doing kind of QR codes, and people are scanning them during this show and getting secret, teasers and whatnot. And there's obviously no surprise on who it is yet, but there's rumors to it being, I'm not going to say who it is just in case people don't know. Whoever's going to be is more likely going to debut or return at Extreme Rules. So if anyone wants to look out, that's where you want to watch it.
It's Bray Wyatt, yeah?
Possibly.
Well,
not confirmed. It's possible.
I already posted that on the page. Of course it's going to be Bray Wyatt. Where else?
You never know, mate.
It's funny because today in the AFL world, Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti, who played for Essendon, has sort of suggested he might return to footy after retiring, and he might play back at Essendon, or he might come over to WA and play at Freo. And when you read the comments, it's just like, yep, ran out of money. It's just like any of the wrestlers, I'm going to retire or I'm going to leave the business. And then 6 months later, I actually need to get paid. And that's the one thing I'm really good at. So,
I'll just ask Ric Flair.
Yes.
What's next for you? Anything else, Chris?
That's it for me, mate. And Luke Young's just confirmed, yes, first female ladder match.
There you go. Very good. Well, I've just got a quick update on Heels and Faces here. Now, before you show the Sabu version 2 New York Comic-Con, I just want to give a quick update on mine. I actually opened mine. If you remember last episode, Chris, I said I gave him was it a 7.5 or an 8 Minton card?
Yeah.
Just for the overall package. The card was awesome. Shout out to John Lucas Reyes. But I opened mine and I'll give them a 9 out of 10. They are sensational. Both my figures had little paint blemishes here and there, but I rubbed it off with a nail. Good as gold. And they are perfect. And in fact, at the same time, I opened my whatever series it was, Mattel Retro Diesel. And mate, you would have thought a kid had played with it before I opened it up. Like there's paint missing, there's paint over the lines, especially like that. He's wearing that singlet. That's all like not even a straight line. It's everywhere. At the back, there's all white scratches. Anyway, I don't really care, but compared to what I got from Zombie,
yeah,
worlds apart. So amazing figures. Okay, so Sabu version 2, New York Comic-Con.
Very cool. Pink pants. Only 2,000 of these being made, I read somewhere.
Yeah, it's awesome. Not for me. Not for me.
No, not for me either. I've got the green pants version, and obviously to get this into Australia is going to be a real pain in the bum. But I don't really understand why anybody would need another one. But collectors are strange people. Yeah.
Sabu's a pretty widely followed. He's got a pretty good crew following him, right?
100%, but I don't understand. I've never understood the appeal of having the exact same figure twice with a different pair of trunks on.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't understand the spin on it.
Next image I got there is a picture of Series 2 combined with Series 1 with all the prototypes that Zombie shared recently. I can't wait to get our Jeff Jarrett, Chris. Did you get the Jeff Jarrett, Bradley?
No, I was not a fan of these, but they do look nice. But again, I'm not going to go anywhere near them.
Staying away.
You know
rules are
what I
rules.
like about this picture, James, is that how big the Andre is.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what
as a modern guy, in all fairness, the Danhausen looks really nice just for a person that's, he's now in kind of that situation where people are looking up to him. He does look nice. That would probably be the only one I would ever collect out of it.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm running out of space.
Here's my dilemma, boys, and I need your help. So I've got Earl Hebner, I've got Dino Bravo, and I've got Diesel, and I've got coming a Anvil from the Hart Foundation, and I've got Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart, because I believe all those figures deserve to be in Hasbro form, right? They should have made them in the Hasbro line.
Anvil was made.
No, but not in the Hart Foundation. Like, I think the Hart Foundation should have been in the Hasbro line, right?
Fair enough.
Do you think that King Kong Bundy I definitely want to get because I think he deserves a Hasbro? But then looking through the retro list, there's Junkyard Dog and then there's the Iron Sheik. I feel like they're outside of the Hasbro era.
Well, not if you think about WrestleMania 7. So Iron Sheik was as Colonel Mustafa.
Yeah, true.
So the likeness of the retro is the old curled boots Iron Sheik from probably pre-WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
The Hasbro era includes when he was still around the company as Colonel Mustafa. However, he's not in the same getup, so it depends on whether you classify that as being it or not. I don't see him as being a Hasbro.
Well, I think that's enough for me to go no. And what about Junkyard Dog?
I think he also misses a cutoff. I think he was out of the company by then.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. I can save my cash.
He would be super close to Series 1 because I can remember him in the same cards as Arkham and Big Boss Man.
Yeah. I remember him at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
But that's about it, to be honest with you.
No, very good. And do you want me to share this last picture here of the Pink Pants sub out of card?
Yes, there you go. I think it's a cloth. What would you call that around his waist? A cloth.
Tea towel.
What would you call it? Tea towel.
Scarf.
That's it.
A Turkish scarf.
Turkish scarf around his waist. Great work from Zombie Sailor. Now listen, worldwide toy pickups, boys. Did you see this? Mark Bushman has done it again. He's found himself a bone-crunching Series 1 diesel prototype, hand-painted resin prototype. Now, they use this, I can't remember what the description actually said, but it's actually a custom-made card just to use at some of the shows. But that is only on there with very, very, very fine glue. It's only just stuck on there. And they were to use that just for promotional purposes at events. But that is a hand-painted resin prototype of a diesel Series 1 bone-crunching action figure. I don't know where he finds his stuff, but he just keeps coming up with the goods. Well done, Bushman.
If you're listening or you hear this down the track, can you let us know whether you've been asked to be on WWE Most Wanted Treasures? Because surely if you can find this stuff, you could help them in a big way. Yes,
absolutely. And last thing from me, guys, community events. I've got plug in the Luke Longley event. My good friend Michael Zan from Icons of Sport, he's hosting this event, and it's at the Factory Theatre, Marrickville, on Wednesday, the 12th of October. So that's next Wednesday week at 7 p.m. Ticket limited only 50 guests, $350 a ticket. It includes everything. You can get 2 items signed, a photo with him, hear him talk, and he'd have some amazing stories to share, especially around those years with the Chicago Bulls winning all those championships with the great one, Michael Jordan. So it'd be a great event.
Do you reckon the finger food would be good for $350?
I think so.
Couple of hot chips, a few drinks.
What would you get? What would be the go-to canapes for you, James?
Oh, the mini pies and sausage rolls. That'd be perfect.
I like the lamb cutlet. You know when they have a lamb cutlet that you can dip in the sauce?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Brad?
Mate, I'm just happy with finger food with, little hot chips, nuggets. I'm that kind of kid.
Hey, I'll go a quick good story for you, James. It's I went to this 21st once at Crown here, which used to be called Burswood Casino, and we're in this beautiful function room overlooking the ocean. And I can't eat seafood; I'm allergic to seafood.
Oh
but
no!
I'm not. Like fatally allergic, and I'm not. It won't affect me too much. But if I have shellfish, I'll probably end up with a bit of a rash around my mouth or something else. Anyway. I said to this girl who was serving us, I said, "Oh, these spring rolls, are they vegetarian?" And she went, "Oh, yeah, they're vegetarian." So I tip it in, take one bite. There's a big fucking prawn in there. And so I just showed it to her, and I was like, this is not vegetarian. She was like, uh-oh. And then so I just feigned like I was dying. But, yes.
You live to tell the story, mate.
Yeah, Chris. Well, why does it not surprise me that you're allergic to the best food that this earth has ever created?
Well, you're eating plastic when you eat every piece of fish you eat anyway. So.
Yeah, right. Mate, catch them fresh in Port Macquarie, mate. All right, well, that'll do us for community news, boys. Great debut, Brad. Let's keep it up. All right, cool. Let's do it correct this time, Chris. Merch perch.
Dude, I went down to the shops to pick up some fruit and veg. I couldn't help myself. Went down to the toy aisle. You never believe what I got. What'd you get? What'd you get? I got some figs. What'd you get? What'd you get? Found some figs.
Oh, just made it back in time, mate. I made a quick run for the door because
I felt the movement when you sat down there, Chris. I just wasn't sure what was going on.
Yes, it's good, mate. I actually out of breath now. But, hey, I'm going to start my merch perch very quickly here. I don't have a lot of things this week, but very excited to add the retros to the collection. Opened them up yesterday. Fantastic set. I don't really understand why we've got Nikolai Volkov. And it's a crap figure too. Like the other three are really good. But Volkov with the stupid legs, the Shawn Michaels legs, just don't get it. It's not for me, but it is a great little set. I love the Heart Foundation. Didn't love the fact that the glasses on all three are not removable. Thought that would have been a pretty easy, even, I don't know, maybe not for the Heart Foundation, but I thought Jimmy Hart's glasses could have been removable, but very cool figs. Quick show of the setup of my completed retro collection there. Have every single one of the retros. And it is running out of space. I actually had to remove some of the gloobs and to fit them in. I've got to find a new spot for the gloobs. So, very, very cool. And the other thing I bought this week was the Jimmy legs that finally finished my Build-A-Figure Jimmy Hart, which I've had 3/4 of it built for the last probably 6 months. And as I posted on the page today, I had a situation with Bulletproof Villain, a great Australian company who really helped collectors here get stock in. And I ordered 5 figures from them, and one of them turned up randomly in the mail, which is the legs I ordered for the Bret Hart figure that came from the Mania set. Then I messaged them and said, "Hey, what's going on? I ordered 5 figures, only got 1." And they said, "Oh, we didn't get enough stock for the other 4. We don't know when it's coming in because we're dealing with Mattel." Doesn't that sound familiar, James?
Yep.
And I said, "Well, you might as well just give us a refund because from my experience, you're probably going to be dealing with Mattel and waiting for a long time." So they were happy with that. And it was a very, very simple process, and hopefully no one else gets dicked around. So they actually said to me, and this is, hopefully I'm not doing anything wrong by them. I'm not trying to do that. But they actually said to me, "Oh, we ordered a whole bunch of Elite 94s from Mattel, but we got WrestleMania Elites, which are the ones that like everybody has had possibility to order those. Toy World got them as well. It's just an absolute shit show from Mattel. That's not on Bulletproof at all, but it sounds exactly like what Jeff was saying to us last year with his ordering and why he's pretty well stopped ordering from Mattel because they keep dicking him around.
It's not good for business, right? How can you pre-order stuff? It's just...
Yeah, exactly right. And Jeff, remember when we were talking to Jeff last year, he would put stuff for pre-order because he'd been guaranteed that was the stock he was getting, and then not get the stock and have to refund 60 people. It's just crap.
Yeah, it's rubbish. That's it
James,
from you.
We did a bit of business ourselves, didn't we, this week?
We did? Yes.
Are you going to show that?
Yeah. I showed that last week. Man. This week is from our good friend over the ditch. I got a full set of 1989. Oh, no. You're jumping the gun there. So that's another Hasbro flip card I got from. Okay, you confused me. So, Brett Amos has sold me his 1989 Superstars of Wrestling Bubblegum card series, also known as the Market Scene series full set. Now, this has got the very rare and hard to find Ultimate Warrior rookie card in it, which I will be sending to PSA sometime next year to get graded. And it looks to be in very, very nice condition. But I've got a full set there, which is pretty rare. And that album is in really good nick as well. So I'm on a bit of a card rampage at the moment. It's a nice, cheap hobby, buying the old retro cards that I used to have as a kid.
Yeah.
Really
the bubblegum, James.
Does it? No, not this. They're all been opened. So they're all. This is the album that they're in.
Because if anyone can find some old bubblegum that came with the card, send it to James and I'll pay for him to eat it on air.
I could open a can with that stuff. Next one here is I'm down to 3 more pieces. Also, thanks to Brett Amos, I got this flip card Hasbro Ultimate Warrior, a great iconic image of Ultimate Warrior. I need 3 more to complete the set of 10, which is I need Rockers, Big Boss Man, and $1 Million Man. So,
James, how good is the blue winged eagle belt that he's wearing?
Yeah.
Is that the best? That's the best belt.
Yeah, but it's interesting, hey, when Sergeant Slaughter robbed him and got it, it looked terrible. It didn't suit him. Ultimate Warrior is the only one that could pull it off.
Yes, I was watching a bit of WrestleMania 7 last night. Ultimate Warrior, Macho King. Ultimate Warrior, not the best in-ring technician.
Oh, we all know that.
He made a few big mistakes in that match. Watching it back now, there's one match I hadn't watched in that pay-per-view for a while, and it was a bit cringy at times.
Yes. And what about you, Bradley? Did you bring anything to the merch purge?
I did, if Chris wants to show it.
Just tell me what it is, mate, and I'll bring it up.
Well, let's start with good old my Batista Ultimate Edition that I got. So thanks to Pete Fowler, who literally lives down the road, and I probably spent like 2 months to pick up this figure off him because I was just a lazy piece of crap. I don't have a Batista figure, and this was my first one that I would have to grab. And just it comes with the contracts, it comes with that iconic thumbs up, thumbs down moment of his and everything. So I quite enjoy that one.
Yeah, very good. I quite often do the thumbs up, thumbs down moment to kids at school. Like I just give them the smile and just go. I'm actually looking for that figure in Australia. If anyone's got one for sale, let me know.
Moving on. Anyways, next one, I've got not just 1, but 2 of the new gen rings that I got during the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, let me just bring that one up. That one might have been one that I had to make a cut on, Brad, because
mate, how could you?
It was too boring, Brad.
That's all right. It was just the boxes.
Boxes. Brad, come on. What are we going to do boxes?
I stepped one up because I had to see how I've got no display for it, so I had to set it up and basically just pack it away straight away. So set one up. The other one I'm keeping for future interest. I don't know whatever I'm going to do with it. But 2 great rings. You couldn't go wrong with. You had to get them. I think 8,000 people backed it, so there's only 1 of 8,000. I got 2 of 8,000 in the world, so let's just enjoy it while it's here, I guess.
I saw someone in the group. Sorry to interrupt, Bradley, but I saw someone in the group selling their ring without the figures for like $250, which I thought was really, really cheap.
It's crazy on the prices. So I've seen a couple listings on eBay. There's this kind of prices going up with it and prices going down with and without the figures, and people in Australia don't even have the matcha that it was included with it yet. So that's still on the way.
If you bought some as an investment, you're best off holding onto them for at least through this next recession period, right? If you're selling now.
Likely, yeah. Well, was it Darcy at Tap Out here was offering $1,000 for the full set before it was released.
Wow.
So
I was even tempted at $250, but I thought, what am I going to do with it? But I thought
I consider this for members merch purge this week. But did anyone else see the photo that Nick Johnson posted with 5 of them?
Oh no!
He bought 5 new gen rings, so he's in for $1,250 US,
Wow.
and he's got them all now, and he'll get. I'm sure he would have got 5 machos as well. The macho ring announcer Ultimate is selling for between $110 and $130 US at the moment. So, like, that's, you think about that. If you just sold that figure, you're already halfway of the cost for the whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Bradley, back to you.
No, that was it from me. Just the 2 rings. But yeah, I saw Nick Johnson's post, and he does some crazy customs that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I can only guarantee he's got something special in line with some of those. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. All right. Members merch perch for me, Chris. I chose James Pete, who also picked up the retro 4-pack, but he got 2 sets.
Very nice.
Which looks pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. Still available on the Mattel website as well if you want to buy them. They're still selling them through Creations.
Could you imagine if Hasbro released a Heart Foundation tag team set?
If it was a tag on card, it would be the most popular tag pack.
It'd be such a good set.
So they just missed out on that one because you think like their big feud was Demolition and Legion of Doom, and Demolition and Legion of Doom both got made.
Yeah.
So it was probably just the knowledge that they were going to push the Hitman to singles that they held back on that tag pack.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Even when you look at the Bushwhackers, they got a tag pack.
Yeah.
Bradley, what was your members merch purchase? Do you remember?
I think my members merch purchase was Mikey J, I believe.
It was Mikey J, mate. You're right. Good memory.
So the only reason I picked this was I've got absolutely no idea about these, right? These are well before my time, but I have a secret music obsession within my life, and just seeing these made me want to go, what's on them? So I'm still got to go look up what's on them, but I've looked up, the 2 CDs, I think have 3 tracks each. The vinyl's got a and B side and everything. So I'm just interested to hear what's on them.
Very cool. I would also like to hear those. I've not actually listened to them before myself. My members merch purchase was also Mikey J. So Mikey J, you've had a huge week. You posted a lot. How good is the Sting European Galoob? I actually think the head on this figure is terrible. I think it's one of the worst looking Galoobs, but the whole package with the face paint, color popping off the face on the card, the pink in the wings of the suit, I think it's a really, really cool fig and super, super rare. If you find one of these now, you're looking at probably $300 to $500 minimum, depending on condition. Super cool pickup. I wanted to pull the trigger on Galoobs a long time ago, and then I just sort of went, oh, they'll drop, and then they just kept going up in price, especially the UK exclusives.
I just love the card on that. The card on that is unbelievable.
The card is the best thing about it. The that Sting face. Unfortunately, if you look at his Sting's face and then you look at the figure, they don't actually look that much alike. But and as a playability, you could never have actually played that Sting figure. But very, very cool. That should be the end of members merch purchase. Anything else, James?
No, that's it. Now let's get into what's online.
Did you see what was online? What's online? Some bloke selling some LJN figures on eBay. What's he asking? He's asking too much. Well, did you make an offer? Make an offer. You can't make an offer. It's an auction. Well, just slide into his DMs. Maybe he wants to let them go for less. Maybe he's just trying to whet your appetite. Well, I don't know. We'll just make an offer. I can't make an offer. It's an auction. We'll just slide right in to the DMs. What else is online? Oh, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff online.
Now I'm going to let you get a little secret, Brad. This would have to be my favourite segment. So every week I want you to do this justice, all right?
All right, so I'll do my best, and I'll let you do most of the talking for it.
Please say, when James directs you like that, you have to say, yes, boss.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Yes. All right, I'll kick it off, Chris. For me, I found Three cracking pieces, I think. Okay, number one, I've got a from the same seller that I've been sharing a few over the last couple of episodes, but this is an LJN resin prototype of Greg the Hammer Valentine. It's CIB authenticated, and it comes with its own case, and he wants $7,000 US for that, which, yeah, look, if you're an LJN collector, I think that's a great piece. Great piece.
$7,500, I reckon Greg the Hammer Valentine would come to your house and give you a cuddle.
Maybe. Now this one here, this is for all you NBA card collectors / investors. I think this is a really, really good investment. And this is a 1996 Topps PSA 9 Kobe Bryant rookie card. All right, so it's his rookie card, PSA 9. So it's one off for being absolutely mint. You can buy a lot of 4 for just over $1,200 Australian. So what's that, Chris? 389. That's almost just over $300 per card. I can tell you now, I've paid a lot more than that for a few of mine. But buy that for $1,200. Hold on to it, and I can guarantee you'll double your money within the next year or two. Because here's why. So he's easily in the top 3, top 4 players of all time. He's actually passed. God rest his soul.
7.
No,
he's got to be in top 3. He has to be.
Top 3, top 4, 100%.
Jordan.
Shaq.
Kareem.
Nah, look. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase it. In our era, right? In the modern era, like forget all the. Let's go from the late '80s to now, right?
Well, I think you still got Kareem there, don't you?
Nah.
Kareem was incredible.
Oh, he was, but it's all right. Let's go the 90s then. LeBron would have to be number 2. You'd have to say
it's Jordan, LeBron, Kobe in the last 30 years.
Yeah, and Shaq. I think you know what? I think Shaq crept his way in there because he's just great at many other things.
Do you know who's underrated? Is Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah,
I agree.
But let me get back to this, right? So this is Kobe's rookie card. You get 4 of them for $300 each. It's one off being in absolute mint condition. I'm not saying they're going to go to the heights of Michael Jordan's card or LeBron's card, but he's got a documentary that's still in limbo and due to come out once they resolve a few things. Now, last time one of the GOATs documentaries come out, everything Michael Jordan related went through the absolute roof. So I think this is a good investment for $300 a card. Sit on it for a while and then sell them off later, and I reckon you'll easily double it, if not triple your money. Free financial advice there, but I'm not a financial advisor, so don't sue me.
We need that. Hang on, James. All advice comes with its risk and warnings. Do not take James as a paid actor.
Yeah. Terms and conditions. All right, this one here I found it's a little bit quirky. This is more your style, Chris. This is a 1983 vintage Andre the Giant T-shirt. Now, the reason why I chose this, like, look at it. It's nothing special, right? But that is currently on eBay with 5 days remaining as of yesterday. Its current bid is at $180 Australian.
Gee whiz.
So, yeah, like even the tag, like the size material tag on the neck is almost coming off. I reckon if we wore that, boys, you'd be able to see our nipples and our skin through the white material.
There must be something about that shirt that we don't know.
Must be.
There's got to be.
There's plenty of people out there who collect old hats and merch from WWE.
Good luck to them. I love it.
I sold a Hulk Hogan hat. So back in the day when Mox and Hasbro's were cheap, I bought 5 Hasbro mint on card figures from a seller in Germany for like $100. And at the time, I said to my wife, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm spending $100 on these figures, but I reckon they're going to be worth a fair bit in the future." They turned up about 3 weeks later, and they were in a padded bag. So they'd gone all the way from Germany in a padded bag, but they'd actually arrived in pretty good condition. And the guy had put in a Hulk Hogan 80s hat with it, just for no reason. And I sold that hat about 5 years later for $100.
Yeah,
So
wow.
the cost of the mint on card Hasbros. So people love that stuff.
That's awesome.
So my what's online is a bit different tonight. I've gone a bit of a weird way. I found just some cool things, old and new, online. First one, I saw this. These aren't for sale, but how cool are these, James? The old 90s skill testers. Do you remember you going on these?
Never ever won a thing on them. They bloody hated them.
They used to spray the claws with olive oil before the grease them up, so that you couldn't win.
You know what it was? It was the teenage operator that would eat his fish and chips, and he'd go in there and wipe his fingers on the bloody claw.
So I just thought, I saw that picture and I thought, how cool are they? It took me right back to that moment in time. And I just thought, oh, that's very, very cool. And the second thing for me, I've only got two things tonight, was a cool fig set that's coming out. Generated a bit of debate about what's a need and a want in the group. The Raw 3-pack, Undertaker, Razor Ramon, 1-2-3 Kid from the famous match where 1-2-3 Kid wins the Intercontinental title. Interesting, no belt though.
Yeah.
But
he did come with the belt. He came with the belt with the original 1-2-3 Kid. That was a tag team belt actually.
And I love the fact that this has that massive red Raw letters at the back as well. Hard to see in the packaging. Very, very cool set. If this was in Australia, if I saw this in Target here for $70, $80, I'd buy it in a second. But to have to chip this in would be a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
That packaging is very BCA-esque, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And plastic window, mate. How long is that going to last for?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on its way out, mate.
Yeah, it's gone. The old plastic. Too much fish eating the plastic.
Or sinkers. The fish eat sinkers, apparently. Did you see that?
Did you have anything you wanted to share, Brad?
Look, I've got one little what's online find that I've got. A lot of people, obviously, were talking about shirts. I collect wrestling shirts as well as I collect crew wrestling WWE crew shirts. So I try and get those. But this is kind of something for us Aussies that, you know, they don't want to buy overseas. They don't want to pay all the shipping costs. It's a little, it's not really a little company. It's a company called Uncle Rico. They do like vintage styled shirts and comedy shirts. And they've got their own little wrestling section that they've got Nature Boy for shirts and a crew neck jumper. You got Mick Foley and you got a John Cena one. So, I mean, I think they were $50 for a shirt and $60 for a crew neck, which nowadays with shirts like these, that's the normal price for them. But they'll occasionally do a sale. You can grab them for $30 or something on sale every now and then.
Also, have got some good stuff on there. I bought my school hat from Uncle Rico, and on the front of the hat says "No hat, no play." The kids love it. The kids absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, they got quite cool, funny stuff and some crude stuff on there as well. So if you're looking for something to give to someone for a Christmas present, I mean, just go there and find something funny and hilarious.
Sure. Hey, boys, you want to hear something funny?
Sure.
This is showing my age, but I was in year 6 in 1992 when the rule of the no hat, no play was implemented.
Yep.
You know another cool story? Another cool story with that, James. I wasn't born yet.
Oh wow!
I wasn't actually far behind you, James. I was at school as well, and the sun's pretty bad over here in the west. So we probably brought it in about 5 years before you guys, because you probably hadn't realised how bad the sun was yet. So
yeah, it's pretty harsh overseas, I hear.
All right, should we move on after James' fantastic story to Fig Review?
It's time to review a fig from today or the past. Which will it be? Stay tuned to find out.
Okay.
By popular demand, aka me, we're going to focus on the Jax line. Now, the Jax Series 1 line, we've got Bret the Hitman Hart.
Hang on a minute. You got to go. It's Jax Classic Superstars line. So let's get it right.
Sorry, boss. We've got Jax Classic Superstars line, Series 1. Bret the Hitman Hart with belt. Andre the Giant with belt. Ultimate Warrior with belt. Triple H with belt. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid with belt. And an Undertaker figure that right now looks a lot like AJ Styles, or no, Seth Rollins more likely from the Shield. It doesn't look Undertaker-ish there, but that was Series 1, 6 figures. James, what do you think?
Well, okay. Number one, when these figures first came out, it actually got me back into collecting. I had all my Hasbros that I just had them stored away and forgotten about. So these come out, correct me if I'm wrong, you Classic Superstars nutters, but I think this come out around about 2004, 2003,
Yep.
2004.
I think you're right on that.
And I was just blown away that there was wrestlers from my era that were in this new form, right? So the last ones before that were the BCAs, and I thought they were terrible, so I never got into them. I saw Warrior and thought that is the best Warrior figure I've ever seen. Obviously, they've improved that over the years, but reflecting on it now, that these were a game changer, and I reckon this line, and I've said it since day one of this bloody podcast. This is going to be a very expensive set in years to come. Not even that far away. These will change the game. And looking at them now, they're really they're not that good, but they're great, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and they did change that.
They did. But Undertaker itself, right? In real life, when you're looking at the Undertaker, his legs, but when Jax used to make figures and the legs used to bow out at the knees, Undertaker's was like that. Shawn Michaels, in all honesty, is probably up there with Warrior as the best. Triple H, I don't know. I've never liked Triple H, so it didn't really do anything for me. Warrior was great. Andre the Giant was good, but they've obviously made him a lot better in years gone by. But Bret Hart was okay. But all in all, for the time, for the era, they were mind-blowing to see.
What about you, Brad? What do you reckon?
Oh, look, these are the figures that kind of came out when I was, growing up at the same time. So seeing a few of these guys on TV at the same time as, collecting them, I was just like, okay, cool. And I'd obviously buy them and I'd be smashing them together with a ring that I made and everything. So the Hunter's Helmsley, he wasn't Hunter Helmsley back when I was a kid. So obviously this is pre the game Triple H. But I personally like these figures. This is where I started, but I never liked the belts.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the belts either. The belts needed to be more genuine. I think it's a Triple H rookie figure, isn't it? He wouldn't have had a figure before that one.
Yeah, he's got BCAs, I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember. I'll look into that because I will have to get my timeline spot on. But I can't think of which other figure he's got before that. If you know, send me a DM. That saves me looking for it. For me, I really liked the Triple H character before he was the game, and he was that pompous sort of fancy boy who he just, from the minute he started wrestling, he seemed like he was going to be really, really good. But the pick of the bunch is the Warrior there. I reckon the Warrior looks the best out of the whole lot of those. Very cool big. Got the hang off the tassels there off the side. I really like it. What a great line.
Very good.
So much better than the crappy Turtles we were reviewing last time.
Oh, mate, no, the Turtles are great. The Turtles are great, but seriously, what a parent's nightmare when you've got 40-plus figures in one series. My God. Sorry, Mum and Dad, putting you through that. All right. That's Fig Preview Review. And we'll discuss Series 2 next week. And how far do you want to get into the Classic Superstars? Because we could be here.
We'll go forever.
Oh, God. All right. All right, next up, we've got Q&A.
It's question time. It's question time. It's time to ask the boys a question. What's on your mind? Let us know and we will tell you the answer.
Well, the good news and the bad news. What do you want first, fellas?
Good news.
The good news is we're going to have to come up with our own questions. The bad news is no one asked us a question this week.
It's funny that the questions drop off since the prize has dropped off.
Funny that. Why don't we ask a question each of one another?
Sure. Firstly, Luke Young, he's going to be now known as the new beard of knowledge because Steve Campbell's gone AWOL. Triple H came in a 2-pack with China in the BCA line. Thank you, Luke Young, for getting in touch. Also, I see earlier in the comments tonight, Luke Young asked about Bulletproof importing stock from the stores in the US. I don't know that for sure, whether that's the case, but the message I received said we ordered from Mattel and this is what we were told we were getting and we didn't get it. So they might do that as well. I don't know. But I still would support them. I reckon they're a good company and they were very professional with how they handled it. My question for you, Bradley.
Yes, my friend.
What is the next piece for your collection? What are you looking for at the moment?
Oh, look, this is a tough one because I'm very limited to display space. So a lot of things that I'm buying are just being stored away. I'm at the moment, my go-to kind of thing I'm looking out for is it's an AEW figure. It's an AEW Ricky Starks Chase. But the only reason I'm getting it is because he has a Darby Allin face paint, which I would count towards my Darby Allin collection. Seeing I've got Sting with the Darby Allin face paint, I'm going to have to do the same thing. But being a Chase figure for AEW, it's very difficult and very pricey if I'm going to want one. So that's probably what my eye's on at the moment.
Cool.
What about you, James? What are you looking for at the moment?
A couple of things. 2 more Hasbro pieces, polyurethane and a first shot. And then I would have to, and actually a Series 4 drawing. So 3 pieces. 3. But more modern stuff, I would really like to get my hands on a No Holds Barred San Diego Comic-Con box set. Mint, has to be mint. And I guess for me, I'm just picking up some cards. Like the 1991 classic WWF cards set. I want to get a box set of those from overseas, but I can't justify spending the money.
Actually, on those cards, James, there's a hobby fair that happens here in Sydney probably every 3 months, every month. I don't know when it is, but there's a store there that has basically, obviously, any cards that have been made from TV shows, sports to whatever. Yeah, right. And they have sets of old wrestling cards.
Really?
I think the last one I saw was probably a 1990s set of complete cards. So I'll keep a lookout. You let me know what years you want. I'll keep a lookout on what they've got, and then I'll have a look if they've got it.
Make sure you add on 40% as well, Bradley. James is he's got enough cash to splash on that extra 40%.
I could just pay shipping. Yeah, I could just drive up the road for a holiday and just hand it to him, I guess.
Yeah, mate, anytime. Sounds good. We could have beers together and bitch about Chris.
He'll make you babysit his kids and he'll go out with the missus, mate. So watch out.
Yes. How are you? My next question for Bradley is: how are you with children, Bradley?
Oh, I don't have any, but no, I'm quite. I've got a couple nieces up in Queensland. I've got friends that are starting to have babies, and other family that are having babies. So I'm fine with kids. I'm a play around kind of. I'm kind of that fun uncle, I would say, if someone ever was to criticize me like that. So
James is going to ask you out on a date.
Perfectly fine, mate.
Well, I can assure you, mate. You spent an hour with my 4 and 2-year-old sons. You'll definitely won't be having kids till at least in your 30s. That's for sure.
Look, if they like sport, I'll be happy.
I'm sorry to hijack catching up with Brad here in James's segment, but I'll ask myself the same question. What am I looking for? Oh, thanks for asking that, James. I'm actually on the hunt for a Defining Moments Black Robe Ric Flair. I'd prefer to buy it loose. I used to have it. I think I sold it to Steve Campbell because I was clearing out all the Defining Moments, but now I want it loose. So I had them all mint in box. The black robe is slightly rarer than the blue robe. If you've got it and you want to sell it, I don't care if the box is destroyed. I just want the loose figure. And
Chris, don't you reckon they'll release it in Ultimate Edition in due course? They'd have to.
Of course they will for Ric Flair, but will it have the black robe? I want the black robe.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon they will.
Do you know what happened? It's because I watched that freaking show, Defining Treasures, that they searched for the black robe, and I'm like, I need to have that in my collection.
The hunt never ends.
The other thing I'm looking for as well is I want an Arkeem Legends. So complete and loose as well, and not paying through the nose. The two Legends I'm looking for are Arkeem and Rick Martel. I know they're expensive, but I want them loose and complete. And my other good news, just before we wrap it up, is I have secured some Legends now for the next series. So I've got Farooq and Bradshaw coming, which I wanted to get. Didn't really need Molly Holly or Kane. Was it Kane the other one, or was it somebody else? I can't remember. So they're the two that I wanted out of the most recent set. They're starting to drop in the US. And, it's a cool set. But, got a few figures coming.
Very good. Very good. Well, Bradley, what an awesome debut. We're glad to have you on board, mate, and it's going to be a lot of fun going forward. Chris, not so much. But it's been a great show, boys.
Yeah, great well done, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
All right. Well, that'll do us for this week, guys. And thanks for everyone who's joined us live and who will be listening to our podcast in podcast land. Check out our website, wrestlingwithfigs.com. You can find Wrestling with Figs podcast on all social channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and always use the hashtag The Hunt Never Ends. Because you know why, Bradley?
Because the hunt never ends, mate.
The hunt never ends. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you in the toy aisle.
See you later, everyone.